Maybe it was a fight, a breakup, a job, a plan that just fell through. Whatever it was, I know you're tired of replaying it in your head. And I'm not here to throw cliches and fancy lines on you. I'm here to share 4 simple yet powerful steps that can help you move through any kind of disappointment, whether it's a relationship, a career, a friendship, or even a dream that didn't work out. And if you follow all 4 steps, you will be able to break the loop of feeling rejected, defeated, and stuck. And who knows, maybe you'll realize that what didn't work out actually did, just not in the way you were seeing it, at least not yet. So let's break those 4 steps down. Number 1, acknowledge, then feel. This might sound obvious, but most of us skip it. The first step to moving through any setback or disappointment is to acknowledge it, to name it. But if you're like most people, you don't start there. You start with overanalyzing it, you fight it, you try to fix it. Or you go the other way, you brush it off and you act like you're fine. But what we often don't realize is the power of acknowledging lies in making us slow down, in facing what happened, like holding up a mirror and saying it out loud. I didn't get the job. We broke up. I made a mistake. The opportunity I worked so hard for, it didn't happen. That moment of truth gives you a pause. It grounds the chaos. It turns the noise in your head into a single, solid moment in time. And the second you put it into words, you contain it. It's no longer a storm of emotions and chaotic thoughts pulling you in every direction. It becomes a sentence, a fact. And with that fact comes a sense of control. And of course, the emotions will come. And I'm not one to tell you to shut those off, because I know how much it hurts when something you cared about goes wrong or something you really wanted doesn't happen. But I also know that everything in life is temporary. So vocalize what you're feeling. I feel hurt right now. I feel betrayed. I feel lost. And let yourself feel in whatever way works for you. Cry, journal, scream, talk it out, move. The point is to let it out of your system. But here's what I always tell my friends. When you're going through heavy emotions, control the dive. Feel them, but know how to come back up. Dive deep enough to process, but not so deep that you can't catch your breath. Because if you just keep going deeper, without support, without awareness, you're no longer diving, you're drowning. And when you stay at the bottom for too long, you start to believe it's where you belong. You don't just feel the pain, you become the pain. So that's step 1. Acknowledge what happened, say it out loud, feel it fully, but don't live there. Because feeling your pain is healthy, becoming your pain is not. And that brings us to step 2. Number 2, recognize what you're measuring yourself against. As you're processing what went wrong or what didn't work out, I want you to pause and recognize. What am I measuring my life against right now? Because for most of us, we compare and evaluate our reality to the thing that didn't happen, the job we didn't get, the relationship that ended, the version of success or timing we thought we should have by now. And it shows up in different thoughts. My life is meaningless without him. That job was the answer to all my prayers and I didn't get it. So what's the point? I knew I had no luck. I shouldn't have even tried. Why be ambitious? Why dream? Just to be disappointed again? No, thank you. And I'll be honest, I've had moments where I didn't get the opportunity I wanted. And suddenly, I wasn't just doubting the situation. I was doubting myself. Why not me? What's wrong with me? Maybe I am not enough. Look at how far ahead everyone else is. This step is about recognizing how much of your worth you've been attaching to what didn't work out. Because it's no longer just about the disappointment, it becomes about your identity. You internalize the failure from "this is a failure" to "I am a failure." When you can't let go of the fantasy of what could have been, you let that version take over your life. You allow a person, a plan, an external force to take charge, and that's what keeps you stuck. Instead of seeing it as a moment, a chapter, a direction that didn't lead where you hoped, you start treating it like the answer, like the only door. So when that door closes, you don't question the door, you question yourself. Try again, push harder, prove yourself. That's what you think the solution is. But what if I told you that trying again and again, without pausing, without questioning, without changing anything, is not strength? This is where persistence doesn't make you powerful, it makes you powerless. It becomes a form of denial. It becomes resistance to what is. So if you find yourself bending and shrinking just to force something to work, maybe you don't need to try again. Maybe the real question is this even the right door for me? Because real strength doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from seeing things differently. And this leads us to step 3. Number 3, reframe the experience. So after you've acknowledged what happened and after you've realized how deeply you've been judging your life based on it happening or not happening, now is the time for you to actively reframe what this experience means to you. This is where the shift happens, because when you reframe something, you change the story. You move from feeling stuck to choosing how you want to move forward. So here's the reframe I want you to try. This is not blank, it is blank. Fill it as you wish. This is not rejection, it is redirection. This is not a definition, it's an experience. This is not who I am, it's just something I went through. This is not failure, it is protection, it is preparation, it is misalignment. Phrase it how you need to phrase it. This isn't about toxic positivity or affirmations. It's about mindset and ownership. Because if you don't reframe, maybe what you're really doing is choosing to stay stuck, to stay small, to stay the victim, to engage in self-pity. And I know that's hard to hear. Think of this like GPS, like Google Maps. When you lose your way, when there's traffic, when there is a roadblock ahead, your GPS reroutes you. And yes, it's frustrating. But as annoying as it is, the question becomes, would you rather be rerouted or would you rather stay lost and stuck? Because what if this delay is actually a setup, not a setback? What if this no is actually a not yet, not now, not this? What if the thing that didn't work out was actually clearing space for what will? What if the people who leave us are just part of the route, not the destination? Because here's the truth we don't talk about. While something is falling apart, something else is falling into place. And this is not about being optimistic for the sake of being optimistic. I know it's hard to see it in the moment, but that's the power of what I call surrender and release. It's the belief that something is working out for me, even if I can't see it yet. The belief that what's meant for me will not pass me. And I bet you've heard that before. Some call it fooling yourself. Some call it giving up. I call it working and showing up while letting go and holding faith. Because letting go is not giving up, it's growing up. So, if you're disappointed because it didn't work out, reframe it. Because it's not the end of your story, it's just not this chapter. Number 4, engage in curiosity. This step is a crucial extension of step 3. It's where your reframe becomes real. Because now that you've seen it differently, it's time to reflect. But instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Or why didn't it work out? You ask, what did I gain from what I thought broke me? What did this reveal about what I value or what I won't tolerate anymore? What did this teach me about me? What do I now know I need to work on? And what would I do differently next time? Not out of fear, but out of growth. You see, this step is about uncovering the beauty and the benefits hidden within what once felt like an ugly loss. It's about choosing to bring life to the version of you that's been buried under the regret, under the sadness, and the fear. There's a quote I had on one of my shirts, and it said, "I never lose. I either win or I learn." And I love that line. You know why? Because it invites curiosity into spaces we usually label as failure. It invites us to extract the gold instead of staying buried in the rubble. And it quietly says, it's okay. It's okay that this happened. I know it sucks, but what did you learn? This is the shift most people don't make naturally, but that's how you reclaim your power. You stop reacting and you start leading. You stop dwelling and you start becoming. You let curiosity be your closure and you let it be the quiet bridge between what didn't work and what will. So here you have it, the 4-step framework to move through any disappointment or emotional setback. Acknowledge and feel, but don't drown. Recognize what you're measuring yourself against. Reframe the experience and engage in curiosity to extract meaning and growth. And now, before I go, I want to ask you something. Think of something in your life that didn't go as planned, but now, looking back, you're glad it didn't. What was it? I'll share mine in the comments below, and I'd love for you to share yours too. And hey, if this helped, like, comment, subscribe, and pass it on. And always remember, you've got this. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!